and welcome to Ninson's Math Solutions. In this video, we're going to be learning how to draw quadratic graphs without the use of a calculator. So kindly put your calculator aside and let's watch this. It will really help you and it will enhance your maths. Thank you. If you haven't yet watched my video on substitution into formulae, that will be very helpful to enhance your understanding of this particular topic. All right, so quadratic graphs are graphs where we'll notice the graphs being either happy or the graph being sad. Okay, and there are only two options that could happen really. The highest power of x in such equations will be x squared. So we'll be looking at examples like y equals x squared plus 5x plus 6, or we could look at examples like y equals just x squared. That will be the example we're looking today. So sit back, get your pencils, get your rulers, and let's get going. All right, so our first example is y equals x squared. Now as you can see from the smiley face or the sad face, these sort of graphs are symmetrical. What that means is that what is on this side, so I'll show us what's on that side of my symmetry is actually the same as what is on the other side of my symmetry. This idea should hopefully help us to be able to understand when we're doing our calculations. It's the same thing if the curve is sad, again it will be symmetrical. Again, we will notice that what is on that side is gonna be the same as what is on the other side. Okay, so that again should help us to be able to do our calculations. All right, so let's go to our first example that we're going to be looking at. So looking at y equals x squared, and we've got a graph here that we want to hopefully plot and then draw it. Okay, drawing has to be spot on, values have to be calculated. So we've got y equals x squared. Advice is always aim to start off from this part where your 0 is, because it's easier to work out 0 squared and 1 squared and 2 squared and 3 squared than to work out your negative squared. So I know 0 squared because it says y equals x squared. So whatever x is, square it, that gives you y. So 0 squared will be 0. Okay, I also know that when x is 1, 1 squared is 1. When x is 2, whatever x is, square it to get y. That's what we told. So 2 squared will be 4. When x is 3, 3 squared is 9. Now because it is symmetrical, like we said, on the other side of 0 the numbers are going to be exactly the same. So we're just going to put 1 there because that's the first number after our 0. Then there's 4, so we put 4 there, and then there is 9, so we put 9 there. Okay, so we've got these values for the y coordinates. Now what that means is that we are going to try and plot along the corridor -3 and then 9 up the stairs. That'll be our first coordinate. The next coordinate we're going to plot -2 along the corridor and 4 up the stairs. Then we're going to plot -1 along the corridor and 1 up the stairs. Then 0 and 0, okay, because they match, and then 1 along the corridor and 1 up the stairs. Then we've got 2 along the corridor and 4 up the stairs. Our last coordinate is 3 along the corridor and 9 up the stairs. With these coordinates, we're just going to plot them on our graph. Okay, so when I come to my graph, I want to plot the first one, and it would be good to just pay attention one step at a time. So we got -3 along the corridor, which is somewhere here, that's it, and then 9 there. So 9 will be between my 8 and my 10. So I've got that, so I've plotted that bit. The next coordinate is -2 along the corridor and 4 up the stairs, and that is 4 there. The next one is -1 along the corridor and 1 up the stairs, so we plot it there. That's in between 0 and 1, and 0 is there, so that will be our 0, 0. Then we've got 1 along the corridor and 1 up the stairs. Then we've got 2 along the corridor, 4 up the stairs. We've got 3 along the corridor and 9 up the stairs, which is our last coordinate. Let's check that we've plotted the correct number of coordinates. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 points that we're supposed to plot. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we are definitely right. We then join our plotted points with a smooth curve. Okay, so we're gonna join it with a smooth curve, making sure it goes through each point perfectly. You don't need to use a ruler, it's a free hand. Okay, so this coordinate, this graph that we've just drawn, is called y equals x squared. We just call it what it's called, and that is it for our first example. Basically, the most important thing you want to watch out for is the fact that your graph should look happy or sad. If it doesn't either, you have to bear that in mind. Number two, you have to make sure you focus on your x squared with the positive values, and then understanding your symmetry, knowing that it will be the same thing on the other side, so the same values should be on the other side. Okay, let's get a more difficult example that might be a little bit tricky and see how we might be able to do that. So for this example, we've got y equals x squared plus 2x. I've tried my best to split it into two sections. So I've got x squared column, and I've got 2x column, then the y column, because that's my basic aim. Again, I've got my graph here. You can pause the video and see if you can be able to complete the table and have a go at drawing the graph before we do it. Okay, so again, I'm going to look at my x squared column. I'll start with my 0 and my positive values. I understand x squared is going to give me symmetrical values, so I'll get my 0 there, and that will be 1, that will be 4, and that will be 9, because I will square 3 to get 9, square 2 to get 4, square 1 to get 1. Okay, because it's symmetrical, these values will be the same away from 0, so that will be 1, that will be 4, and that will be 9. So that's the x squared column. Now on 2x column, I'm going to try and do the same thing. I'll try and work out the positive values of x. So remember, x is 0, 2 loss of 0 is 0, and then if x is 1, 2 loss of 1 is 2, and then that is 4. So you can see and look out for patterns again, like we did. Remember, we're always looking for patterns, so it is going up in 2. Therefore, if I'm going backwards, this time it's not squared, I'm going the opposite direction, so I'm going to go down by 2 each time. Okay, and that will give me minus 6 there. Now to work out what y is from the equation we were given originally, we know that our y is where we add our x squared and our 2x. So we're gonna add the x squared column to our 2x column. So 9 add minus 6 is 3. 4 add minus 4 is 0. 1 add minus 2 is minus 1. 0 add 0 is 0. We've got 1 add 2 making 3. 4 add 4 is 8. And then we've got 9 add 6 is 15. So now we are interested in the x values, which is highlighted in yellow for us, and the y values. Those will be our coordinates. So like we did previously, we're going to try and write our coordinates down. Okay, so the first coordinate we've got is minus 3 against 3, minus 3 along the corridor, 3 up the stairs. Then we've got minus 2 and 0, minus 2 and 0. We've got minus 1 and minus 1. We've got 0 and 0. We've got 1 and 3. We've got 2 and 8. And then we've got 3 and 15. Okay, so we're gonna try and plot these coordinates on our graph. So these are the coordinates we are interested in plotting, so we're gonna try and plot them. So the first coordinate is minus 3 along the corridor, 3 up the stairs. Minus 3 along the corridor, 3 up the stairs is there between 2 and 4. Then minus 2 along the corridor, then 0. So minus 2 and 0 is right on minus 2. Minus 1 along the corridor, and then minus 1 down, so that is there. Then we've got 0 and 0. Then we've got 1 along the corridor and 3 up the stairs. We've got 2 along the corridor and 8 up the stairs. and we've got 3 along the corridor and 15 up the stairs. So this again will be joined. Before we join it, let's count our coordinates. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So we know we've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 coordinates that we've plotted. So now we can join them up using a smooth curve. No need for a ruler. We are drawing, so we do our best to make sure it looks like a curve. Okay, and that is our curve. This curve is again happy. Again, we call this curve from the question. It is called y equals x squared plus 2x, and this is the graph that we have plotted. Hey, well done for your resilience in watching this video and for understanding how to draw quadratic graphs without using a calculator. You've really done well. Now we're going to use this video to help us solve exams questions. Don't forget to watch that video, and don't also forget to like, subscribe and share this video, and also visit our website at ninsonsmathsolutions.co.uk. Thank you.